Okay, thanks for joining this quick refresher training video on how to add notes to a contact in the CRM. So once you get to your contact, this is on the browser internet-based version. You'll see the contact information on the left, and you're going to scroll down to the bottom right, down here. And this is where you'll see an activity tab as well as a chatter tab. When you want to add a note, you'll see there's task, notes, and external event. We're going to go ahead and click on notes. So whenever you want to add a note, you're going to go to notes on the activity section, so bottom right when you're on the browser. Once you're here, you will see that it will default to the name of the contact whose page you're on. If there were other people in that same meeting, you can go ahead and add them as well so that you can link this note to everyone who is in that meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and click this person. And you can add, I think, up to 50 or so. Most likely you're only going to need a handful, but you can add all of those contacts so this one note links to everyone. You only have to enter it one time. Scroll down a little bit. You don't need to change related to, but what you can change is the subject. It defaults to log notes, but it's much more helpful to your fellow users who will be reviewing these notes in the future to edit that subject. So let's just say it was a meeting with ambassador and CEO of, say, XYZ. So give just a little subject line there that helps the reader know what's in there. Status defaults to completed. You can just leave that. And then once you get to the comments box, that's where you'll add notes. If you have them drafted somewhere else, you can just copy paste, keeping in mind that formatting does not save. So it's a very basic field for text. So we'll just say notes from meeting. You should include the date and maybe the time, who our USG attendees were, since we're not going to link them up in this section. That's just for external contacts primarily, but you can list USG attendees, basic agenda, maybe what the takeaways were, and any action items that come out of the meeting. It doesn't have to be a book, just a few items. The ambassador has different expectations for the length of the notes that are going to be submitted for meetings that he was a part of, and you'll get those approved through him. But any other working level meetings can just be very basic, something that will be helpful for you when you reference it in the future if you're meeting with this contact again. And then same thing if your replacement or another officer or colleague wants to meet with this contact, they can see what was happening. So once you have those notes in, you'll hit save. And then it's logged here. So once you click in that, it's a little easier to view. And you can also edit it. So if you hit edit, if you have a lot of text and you found that little box at the bottom right a little confining, you can save it and then do the edit here, and it brings up a larger box here. And whenever there's these little lines in the bottom right corner, it extends the box. So use that if it makes it easier for you. And you can just hit save, pretty straightforward. Now, if you want to review notes that somebody entered, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the name of the contact. You're on the contacts page. You're going to meet with this person later today. Easiest way to view everything that's happening or has happened recently with that contact is to click chatter. You can see some things and activities here. So it's listed by month. So those are examples of different tasks and notes that were tracked on that contact. But chatter will make sure to capture everything. So anything that's happened on that contact, whether it be information added or data changed in terms of their phone number, et cetera, that'll be tracked. Any meeting notes will be seen here, all on this chatter tab here. Another note that I've had questions on is if you want to add a document to the contact. So let's say, they went to an event and you want to show the card of the event, or maybe you want to have a copy of the bio for that contact, the Word version, so you can snag it again later. The only place you can add documents on the CRM is not the most straightforward. So you're going to be on chatter on that contact. You're going to click share an update. once you click into share and update, you'll see the icon for attaching. I would recommend changing it from default Department of State to all with access, and then you'll hit that little paperclip to upload a file. And you can upload from there. And then once you select a file, you'll hit this add button, which once I select something will be bright blue, and you hit add. So while we don't recommend using too many attachments in the CRM, it's better to reference maybe a cable reference number in the actual notes rather than attaching. It can be helpful here and there, and that's how you do it. I know I've had that question a few times. And that's just a really quick, basic summary of how to add notes to a contact. I'll do a separate training shortly on how to do it on your mobile. It's very, very similar. It just looks a little different on the mobile app versus your browser. If you have any questions, feel free to always email BangkokCRM@state.gov. Thanks.